What are you doing the rest of your life? For the north, south, east, and west of your life, I have only one request of your life.
This is Are You Being Served? I'm Cam Shadan. During this program, we're going to be covering two specific areas as they relate to your financial wealth and financial health. And throughout the programs, we'll make parallels to your wealth being, your wealth care provider, and your wealth care in general. We believe that if you are fortunate enough to have a good, healthy body and mind, the next thing that mostly causes us stress in life is the finances. Too little or too much of it are both cause of stress in people's life. So today we're going to cover the area of your relationship with your wealth care provider, what that relationship covers, basically their fiduciary responsibility that you may assume they have towards you, and the next area is the whole area of the costs associated with the various types of products they try to represent to you and place with you. So the first part is the area of fiduciary responsibility. Fiduciary responsibility is, simply put, the relationship one assumes with a provider of a certain service, in this case, in a financial wealth planning service. People assume that in a relationship with their financial advisor, that advisor is acting in their best interest first. That is the way it should be, but in this situation, in most situations, when your financial advisor is connected to an entity, a broker-dealer, for example, they have their own proprietary interest, whether it's within a product they're promoting towards you, or if it's within their priority to their company and to their own personal interests. So they may be dealing, broker-dealer, they may be dealing from their own basically holdings in some cases. That would be when they're acting as a dealer, and a broker when they're dealing on a intermediary basis. In this case, they're charging commissions, things of that nature that are charged to you for the transaction. Some of those are transparent, some of them are not. So it's under the advisory, registered investment advisors or fee-based advisors that are pure advisors in some cases, and they are charging you an annual management fee. And there are some that are hybrids that are getting commissions on some of your transactions and they're getting fees on others, and those are little gray areas that need to be studied and reviewed when you're dealing with your financial, basically wealth care provider. Having your interests come first is one of the primary duties of a fiduciary. Basically, we have a very, easy time relating that when it comes to an attorney you hire to act on your behalf, or a doctor that you engage in for a heart transplant or for any kind of medical procedure, you assume, and for good reason, that those people are acting in your interest first. You come first, not because they have a couple extra valves they want to put in your heart, not because the lawyer has a client they want to, or for them to kind of engage with you or something of that nature. If you hire them as your fiduciaries, your interest comes first. So in most cases, that should be assumed, and that people assume that, but it is not. So the client is the one that is put in a secondary position compared to the company and to the advisor that's helping you. So whether it's their personal needs or the company's interests, they come first. Now, the concept of, one way to relate to this is the whole idea of a financial bodyguard. A financial bodyguard is somebody that would put their life in front of the person they're protecting. So a bodyguard, you would assume that if something occurs, they're hired to protect you before themselves. They're supposed to put themselves in harm's way in order to secure your interest. Now, a financial bodyguard concept is what you need to be looking for when somebody's serving your interest and looking after your well-being and looking after your future, financial future, and your family's financial future and your business's financial future. Not that they're just there to do a transaction, or they have a certain product of the month, or they want to reallocate things on a regular basis in order to potentially benefit from them. And it may benefit you too, but it's not necessarily necessary for you. But they're putting their objectives and their interests in front of yours. Proprietary interest is also another area that you can use as a measurement of your relationship with a provider, a wealth care provider. If an organization, a company, an advisor has their own private label, sometimes they're they're not necessarily labeled the same way, but they're kind of in-house products they're promoting. It's basically things that they have on the shelf, things that they're constantly putting out there, and they get certain leverage based on that. They get certain trailed revenues based on that, which you are not privy to. You don't see that. But they're promoting these in a cookie cutter manner in order to, because it best benefits them, and they get to know a few products and they just stick with those, when in your particular situation, another product, another solution could be more effective and more applicable. But due to their kind of myopic view and their either limitation of having access to other products, or just being used to a certain area, or doing certain volume with a certain vendor or promoter of a certain financial instrument, they're just doing that, consciously or unconsciously. They're just putting you all in the same box at different measurements. That is a proprietary interest that conflicts with somebody that's in a fiduciary relationship with the client, somebody that's supposed to put the client's interest before theirs and before anybody else's, in that matter, when it comes to, in this case, financial matters, wealth management matters.